And now, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with our co-feature attraction of the evening. 10 rounds scheduled in the super lightweight division. Sponsored by Tecate, Cerveza con Carácter, in association with DeWalt Tools, Guaranteed Tough, and presented by AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network, period. The three judges scoring this bout at ringside: Robert Hoyle, Patricia Morse-Jarman, and Dave Moretti. When the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Vic Draculich. And here we go, fight fans, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing white trunks trimmed in red, he weighed in officially 140 pounds. Professional record stands outstanding. 28 victories, just 1 defeat, 14 big wins coming by way of knockout from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. He is the number 4 WBA contender, number 9 by the IBF, and number 10 by the WBO. Here is Lamont Peterson. And next, his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing white, trimmed in blue, he weighed in 141 pounds. His professional record, outstanding. 28 victories, including 22 knockouts, just 2 defeats, and 1 bout even. Rated number 1 by the WBO, number 1 by the WBA, number 3 by the IBF, and number 5 by the WBC. From Ventura, California, here is Vicious Victor Ortiz.
All right, gentlemen, this is scheduled for 10 rounds. You've received your instructions in the dressing room. Again, I want to caution you. Any punch below this point is going to be called low. Any punches below this point are going to be called low. With that said, I want you to obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up now. Good luck to both of you.
Of his loss to Bradley, who's regarded as the best in the division, Peterson said, "I wanted it too much. I pushed the panic button." He could have been speaking for Ortiz in his fight with Maidana. Both of them have a chance to do what many young fighters have done in coming back from such lapses.
And where coming back is concerned, both are already champions for life. Victor Ortiz was abandoned by his troubled parents by age 10 or 11, was found by school authorities in Garden City, Kansas to be living alone and running his little brother's life as well as his own, and he has risen from those circumstances to the position he's in right now. Lamont Peterson and his brother Anthony, very similarly, were abandoned on the streets of Washington, D.C. at times, were with their parents at times, but living in cars or sleeping in parks overnight, and they rose from homelessness to their current circumstances. Anthony, Lamont's brother, is a title contender in the 135-pound weight class. So just to make the point again, as far as coming back is concerned, they've already proven that on the biggest stage imaginable.
Yeah, 2 guys who have a lot in common, and they've already been proven to that there is a God, because both of them found people to help bring them up, and now look at what they've come to. Both of them are right here live on HBO tonight. What a phenomenal achievement.
It is. It's a great experience for both. Peterson a little bit more the boxer, Ortiz a little bit more the puncher, as I mentioned, and with the 9 extra pounds of weight, you can be sure that Victor's looking to land some heavy shots.
Yeah, he just landed he caught a good right hand and he landed a good left hand off of it. This is a great fight. I like how it's looking so far. You do have to beware of the headbutt, because we've got an orthodox and a southpaw guy here. Ortiz is coming straight down the line, so we'll see what happens.
Incidentally, they know each other from amateur competition. They've known each other for perhaps as many as 8 or 9 years. They aren't necessarily close or friendly, but amateur boxing is a relatively small community, Roy, and people know each other for years.
Yeah, they do, and Anthony, I think, Lamont's small brother, fought Ortiz as an amateur, so it is a very small community, and if anybody's good in the amateur ranks around your time, you definitely know them, and you try to keep an eye on them.
Both of them trying to figure out a way to initiate contact. Neither one successful much as yet.
What's a left hand by Ortiz?
Yeah, what's apparent to me is so far that Ortiz has gotten Peterson's attention with the size and the punching power. He's 9 pounds heavier, and I think Lamont may have felt that power just a little bit, so he has to be very cautious dealing with this extra 9 pounds.
You're right, Roy, and this could be one of the last...
Look at the blood coming from Ortiz's head. Go ahead, Hilary. It looks as though they've already had a clash of heads.
Well, that we see with an orthodox and a southpaw fighter often as well.
Looks as though Ortiz has a cut in the hairline or perhaps up into his scalp.
It's cut out top, all the way up top.
You're good. A ver los guantes, Victor.
Let's see the gloves, Victor.
Un tope arriba.
It's all the way up top, Victor.
Agua.
Put some water on it. Water.
Allá está el agua. Déjeme decirle lo que le voy a decir, ¿eh? Mire.
Listen to me. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. You threw a few times and he counterpunched you. Be careful. Just box him. Let him throw.
Here you see Ortiz coming in with a straight left hand, and then he's looking forward, but he's leaning down, and both guys clash heads right there. Both of them threw body shots, but because they're coming straight down the pipe, you expected the headbutt, and that's what I was speaking about. Once again, the straight left, he's going to follow with a right hook, but by then the heads were there already. And that's what happens when you have two opposite-handed fighters to come forward on each other.
So the crease is inside the hairline of Ortiz. His cut man, incidentally, is Joe Chavez, who is terrific. He's about as good as it gets. If the cut can be stopped, it will be stopped.
Well, the good thing about it is up in the hairline, so it's not going to bother his sight too much.
Cautious round for both in the first round. CompuBox numbers, Ortiz was only 5 of 27. Peterson only 4 of 31.
You were mentioning the size of Ortiz, Roy. He doesn't have too many more fights at junior welterweight in him. Probably 1 or 2 more before he becomes a full welterweight. Just 23 years old.
Yeah, well, he's a full junior middleweight tonight. So
yeah,
he doesn't have many junior welterweight fights left in him. I agree. But nowadays, with the way these guys are fighting and the way people are boxing so thirsty for the big fights, we go up and down to make the big fights happen. So I think he'll be okay.
Well, of course, it introduces another skill to the sport, Roy, because some fighters go up and down better than other fighters do.
Yes, they do. And I think he'll go up and down very well because he's 2 weight classes above right now and looking brilliant.
Exactly. I asked Peterson yesterday how he approaches a southpaw opponent, and he said, well, I like to start out jabbing just as though I'm fighting a conventional fighter, but then if it doesn't work, I'll switch to the straight right hand. He hasn't gone straight right hand yet, but I think he will eventually because he's not landing his jab.
Well, he did it early, but he got countered with a great left hand off of it. Since then, he hasn't really thrown the right hand too much yet because Ortiz's size, he can't be swapping a straight left for a straight right like that.
Good point. It's not an even trade.
No, it's not.
Break! Watch the holder, watch the holder. Dead head up.
Well, this is a scratch and sniff fight for the first couple of rounds. Both fighters seem a little bit thrown off by the southpaw versus conventional fighter equation.
Now, Peterson is doing something real smart here. He's starting to throw good body shots. Usually when a guy has rehydrated that much, it's smart to go to his body just in case he has a little bit more liquid in his belly than he wants to have.
Sometimes a fight is more painful for fans to watch than for the fighters to endure. And so far, we haven't seen much happen.
Well, fortunately, there aren't that many fans here to be in pain, are there?
A lot of them here disguised as empty seats.
Body shot by Ortiz hurt Peterson. He backed away.
He backed away, but I don't think it's hurt him.
He is being the aggressor, and he will get credit for that.
Time! All right, listen. He
is what I need to finish
Following
it
tonight's
off.
live boxing, stick
Every
around for
10
Lombardi,
seconds. You
a
feel
90-minute
it, all right?
documentary about the
Finish it
legendary
off
Green Bay
strong,
Packers
okay?
coach that offers a
Double,
revealing
triple.
look
We don't have
both
to give
on and
up
off
too
the
much
field
ground.
at Vince Lombardi,
Okay?
one of
Double,
American sports
triple
most
your jab.
compelling
Try to run it
personalities.
off.
And
Inside,
on
when you get
Wednesday,
inside, I don't want you to squat, reach,
it's the
and turn
premiere of the
around
next
and grab out,
24/7
because you
series
got
from
too many
HBO,
breaches at that point.
Penguins
You got
Capitals
me?
Road to the
Now,
NHL
I know
Winter
you gotta
Classic.
get down here
Follow
twice,
Sidney
right?
Crosby, Alex
Okay,
Ovechkin, and
don't
both
worry
teams
about
leading up to
that.
their
You
New
just
Year's Day
side to
matchup at
side.
Heinz
You
Field
lift the ball 2 or
in
3
Pittsburgh.
times. All right, keep feeding them the jab, up and down with the jab. The right hand is money, son. You got me? Look for the right hook. Anything right hook, right bolt, or a straight right hand, but step to your right before you throw it, okay? Double, triple the jab. Who's the man up in here? All right, sweet as sugar, baby. Let's go to work.
The smooth-talking trainer, Barry Hunter, is not only Lamont Peterson's trainer, but also functionally his guardian. He's the man who basically rescued both Lamont and Anthony from the streets in Washington, D.C. So it's one of those father-trainer type relationships, despite the absence of a blood connection.
Yeah, he's
CompuBox numbers in two, Ortiz 5 out of 37 all power shots. Peterson 7 out of 23, 5 of them were jabs. Harold, how do you have it through 2?
Okay, Jim, I got it 19-19, 1 round apiece. Jim, I thought the first round was bad until I saw the second round. I got to tell you, the first round, Victor Ortiz landed some power shots. I gave him round number 1. He didn't land a lot, but he landed some power shots. He put a little hurt on Lamont. In the second round, I didn't see Victor Ortiz do anything. Lamont at least landed some jabs like he's doing right now. Victor seems to be waiting, trying to feel this guy out. I wish he'd open up his hands and start to let loose. You know, tag the guy, making a fight. But be as it may, 1 round apiece.
This is only a 10-round fight, keep in mind, so it can go by very quickly.
Yeah, I got to hand it to Peterson. Right now, he's finding a way to score in a fight where not much is going on. Good body shot by Peterson.
Yeah, he's landing some good body shots once he gets in close. Oh, good hook. And I was saying that Barry is one of those guys that basically seemed like an angel sent from God, because without him rescuing these 2 little guys, where would they be now?
We wouldn't see them.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's one of those, you know, neighborhood princes. Runs a boxing academy or gym. And with the economy the way it is, he is seeing a lot of kids coming off the street.
Down goes Peterson on an assault from Ortiz.
4, 5.
Just a sudden moment there when Ortiz suddenly found Peterson on the defensive and fired a 3-punch combination to put him on his seat.
Yeah, and he was off balance then, Roy. I don't know how hurt he is.
He's hurt a little bit too. He was off balance, but he also still a little hurt. And I tell you something else. That is where you see that 9-pound difference take advantage. Peterson got to be smart here and not exchange with a guy when he's 9 pounds heavier than you.
Well, Ortiz has to be smart too. Remember what happened with Madonna when he got overexcited.
Yep. And he has wobbled Peterson once again, and now they both go down. That was a tackle, not a knockdown.
Well, Peterson's legs were a little hurt by these uppercuts. Ortiz lands some small uppercuts inside that really are hurting Peterson.
Well, I didn't gain much purchase with it before, but I'm going to try this again. I think Ortiz's body shots have made a difference. And now Peterson is wobbly-legged as he goes down the second time in round 3.
Hey, did his knee hit the ground? Or his glove?
Yep. I saw him down.
He only got 10 seconds to survive here. He should hold on right now because Ortiz is strong and Ortiz is much bigger.
Harold, do you have a comment?
Yes, time. Under the rules, if you go into the ropes, the referee can call that a knockdown. That's exactly what happened. Lamont Peterson faded into the ropes. The ropes were holding it up. Draculich called it a knockdown.
Peterson landed a colossal left hook to finish the round. Kind of a shock to Ortiz.
Hey, you cannot stop. You cannot stop jabbing, son. Moving side to side. We made that one easy for him. You feel me? I need to box.
Here you see Ortiz hit with a little uppercut right there. That threw Peterson off just a little. Then he follows with a straight left hand high on the head. And he comes back with another left uppercut. And then a right hand down the middle put him down. That was a great punch, great combination by Ortiz. Here again you see a straight left, a hook right outside of the glove, a good body shot, another hook to the head, a looping left hand, and Peterson just basically went down from the accumulation that time, into the ropes rather.
So 2 knockdowns in the round.
Logic tells you that makes it a 10-7 round and puts Ortiz in command on the scorecards.
And that's a big deal in a 10-round fight.
Absolutely. Particularly since in round 2, Ortiz looked very uncertain. Takes a big left hook from Anthony Peterson there. Ortiz's jaw gets a little bit better reviews after the 2 left hooks he's eaten in the last minute of the fight.
Well, let me say this, Jim. The reason that he gets a better review is because he's 9 pounds heavier than this guy.
Bingo.
This is what I used to love to do as a middleweight. I would come in the ring at 169 to 172 pounds, and if I could get a guy to swap with me, I had the advantage because I was 8 or 9 pounds heavier.
But Lamont Peterson is landing some solid blows, and if he stays in there long enough, it could be telling.
It could be. It could be.
Well, the spectators have certainly gotten more of their money's worth in the last couple of rounds.
Right. This has been more painful for the fighters and more fun for the fans.
That's right.
Peterson just has to stay composed here.
Oh, another straight left hand right on the button. And Peterson almost went down again.
Yeah, it may have cut his eye there, too.
Good right hand by Peterson.
I tell you, he's game and he's trying his hardest to defend himself.
He is showing some guts because he's landing big shots even while getting strafed by Ortiz.
Yep, what you see here, though, is a big size advantage. The only reason Ortiz is absorbing these shots so well is because of that 9-pound weight advantage.
And there is blood flowing, streaming from the right nostril of Lamont Peterson, and blood from the upper part of the nose around the eye as well. Big left hook from Peterson.
He ain't gonna quit now. There's no quit in Peterson.
Some guys have trouble landing left hooks against southpaws. He is clocking Ortiz with it.
Peterson is not a big puncher in his own division. He's got 14 stoppages or knockouts in some 29 fights. But he's landing some good, clean shots on Ortiz, and Ortiz is handling it well so far.
Yeah, lad, when you feel like you're at a disadvantage in this sport and you feel like a guy's much bigger, much stronger, you tend to punch a little bit harder than you're normally known to punch. Right. So he's throwing some bombs right now that if he catches Ortiz at the right time, he could sit Ortiz down too.
A fact of which Ortiz seems aware, because even though he's dominated the last 2 rounds, he's still fighting with a high degree of caution.
He's doing the right thing, because right now this kid is a little bit hurt. He feels a little bit of desperation pumping in. Not as bad as he did against Maidana, obviously, because he's taking his time and remaining poised. Maybe the lesson he got in the Maidana fight will help him here tonight.
Victor Ortiz is still only 23 years old. Logic tells you there's a lot to learn, but he's learned a lot in the last year.
A good comeback round for Lamont Peterson.
Right here at the top.
Toma la vecina. Toma el
Here's the Vaseline. Here's the
Pon el
Vaseline.
en el suelo.
That on the floor now.
Muy bien, buen round.
Very nice. Good round.
Quiero es que no me tire de lejos. porque
What I
cuando
want,
tires de
I don't want
derecha,
you to throw too far from too far away. When you bring your left in, when you throw your left from far away, this left, he wants to catch you with the uppercut, with his right.
¿Sí me entiendes, verdad?
Try to get to the body. If you gotta lock it up with
We mentioned Anthony Peterson, 1 year younger brother of Lamont, fights in the 135-pound weight class. The brothers are pretty much functionally the same size, but long ago decided while as amateurs that they would fight in separate weight classes so that they wouldn't ever deal with the subject of meeting each other.
All right, y'all, start moving.
When I asked Lamont yesterday about the difference between himself and his brother, he smiled and he said, Anthony is a slugger who will box if necessary. I am a boxer who will slug if necessary.
And you see he's slugging a little bit tonight, just as he needs to do.
You think of the amazing deprivation of their backgrounds. Both were homeless as children. Both have had to rely on help from people in the boxing world just to more or less get back on their feet as human beings. And it makes it that much more striking that these are 2 of the most ready smiles, 2 of the most engaging people in the sport. Yep. They have no complaints.
None whatsoever.
Watch your kidney shot. Watch those kidney shots.
What Peterson has to do here is he has to land a big shot to keep Ortiz a little bit more honest. He can't let him keep coming at him like he's doing, because if he does, he eventually is going to catch one.
Keep those heads up, guys. Break.
Good shot. Good hook by Peterson.
Yes. But 2 body shots by Ortiz. Good straight left hand by Ortiz. Good body shot by Lamont Peterson with the left hand. Right on the liver. Again, Ortiz taking it well.
Say break, listen to me. Go.
Victor's got some extra padding around the rib cage from those strong deltoids. Hard right hand by Peterson.
Yeah.
Right on the button, and there's Ortiz's improved chin again.
Yeah, he's having a better time hitting the southpaw with his right than the southpaw Ortiz is hitting with his left. It's a quicker punch for Peterson, and he's snapping it in.
Yeah, he has to go to Ortiz's body a little bit more, though, to try to wear him down some, because this size differential will allow Ortiz to take Peterson's punches a lot better than Peterson can absorb Ortiz's punches.
Ortiz again digging the straight left hand to the body. That was a relatively uneventful round for both. Beautiful night in Las Vegas. If you haven't been here in December, come sometime. The air is clear, the streets are clean. It's a great time to enjoy the Party City. And Amir Khan making his first appearance here in Las Vegas. He hails from Bolton, England. There he is. And the man doing the pad work, of course, is his trainer, Freddie Roach. After the disastrous knockout loss to Bradis Prescott, Khan moved trainers, hired Roach, has been with him for 5 consecutive wins since that time. And a personal disclaimer here. I need to tell you that my production company has a partnership with Freddie Roach in the development of a television program for another network.
Bolton is right near Sheffield, where Prince Nassim is from. And Khan has become friendly with him, he told us. And that Nassim is trying to warn him about some of the pitfalls that he experienced when he became a star, primarily having to do with his lack of training.
Amir Khan against Marcos Maidana of Argentina in our main event coming up immediately after this. Power punches through the 5th round. Ortiz 43 out of 151. Peterson 22 out of 54. In other words, Ortiz has landed twice as many power shots. Harold, how do you have it scored through 5?
Okay, Jim. I got it 48-45. 3 rounds to do. Vicious Victor Ortiz. You know, Jim, that 3rd round where he scored 2 knockdowns is giving him a tremendous lead, because you had to score a 10-7.
Put it in. Put it in. You over the neutral corner there. You come here. I want some of that grease off. Wipe off the Vaseline.
Referee Vic
Keep that smooth
Draculich
to the skin. Thank you.
doing some housekeeping work in the ring here.
Isn't that usually the referee's job, Harold, to pick up the mouthpiece, not the fighter?
Most definitely. Yeah, the mistake they make is every so often the referee will put it back. That's the wrong thing to do. Let the corner put it back. Because if the referee shoves it back upside down, they're going to blame the referee for something disastrous.
This fight is only scheduled for 10 rounds. Emphasizing Larry's earlier point that the 10-7 round is a tremendous advantage in a 10-round fight. And I wonder if Ortiz has begun dancing, staying away, and fighting a little bit more cautiously because of the bonanza of the 3-point round.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think the jab is starting to frustrate him a little bit, and he can't really find an opening. See, a power puncher wants to punch when he sees an opening. He don't like to throw punches to set up an opening. And right now you see Ortiz not really throwing punches to set up or create an opening. He's just trying to look for the opening, and he can't see it behind his jab that Peterson's throwing.
Good shot to the belly there.
Another belly shot by Ortiz. and he tries to follow up, and Peterson dances away.
The way Peterson is moving, his body is going to be more open than his head.
Well, Ortiz here needs to swap, is what he needs, because if he can swap, oh, low blow. If he can swap, then his weight advantage can be, he can take advantage of that weight advantage he has on Peterson. But if he can't swap, he's not going to win the boxing match against Peterson. Peterson has a 5-inch reach advantage, I think.
Our corner interpreter, Jerry Olaya, passes along that while we've been watching Lamont Peterson's corner, Ortiz's corner has been telling him to relax and lay back for the last couple of rounds, and now they have told him to come forward and be forceful again. So we'll see. He does seem to be fighting a little bit more aggressively in this round.
Well, maybe the corner was taking into account that 10-7 round.
And I think they probably didn't want to run into a big shot because they know Peterson was hurt. They was throwing some real deadly desperation type shots.
So in other words, trainer Danny Garcia was thinking right along with you if he told Ortiz to be cautious about that.
Well, it was in a sense, but when Ortiz had the lead, he should never have let Peterson get back in the fight. Now he's allowed Peterson to get back in the fight. So he might have laid back a little too much.
But these, from my view, these are very hard rounds to score. Very few solid punches.
December 21, Tuesday, December 21, the premiere of Real Sports year-end roundtable discussion. Join Bryant Gumbel and the rest of the Real Sports correspondents as they discuss their favorite stories and most memorable Real Sports moments of 2010. January 29, World Championship Boxing ushers in the new year with a terrific matchup in the 140-pound division. This same division, fellow undefeated champions Timothy Bradley and Devin Alexander face off at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan.
Off the jab. Everything over top you're going to miss, but you're going to cut him to the shoulder, from the stomach to the shoulder, or the shoulder back to the stomach. You got me? You hear what I say? I need that. I need that, Carl.
And here you see Peterson throwing a 1-2, a jab and a right hook to the outside that landed flush on down the nose of Ortiz. Now Peterson is game. He's strong. His legs are back under him, and now he's throwing much more harder shots.
Both Bradley and Alexander, incidentally, are here among the throng.
In case you joined us late, Victor Ortiz was cut in his scalp in the second round. There was considerable blood flow at the beginning, but his cut man, Joe Chavez, has done an excellent job of stopping it throughout the fight. That was as the result of an accidental headbutt. Then in the third round, Ortiz knocked Peterson down twice, and that gave him functional command on the scorecards, at least the way we see it. But Lamont Peterson has shown great guts and will in the fight and has continually stepped up the pace since the round in which he was knocked down twice. So the fight seems to be getting closer as we arrive at the seventh.
He's got much more confidence in his ability to hit Ortiz and to outbox Ortiz. He knows he has the quicker hands, and he's using that arm reach advantage to take advantage of it right now. But it must be monstrous to have to deal with that extra 9 pounds.
Yeah, it was interesting that Peterson was strong enough there to push Ortiz back off of him, despite the 9-pound difference.
You know, against Maidana, Ortiz got pulled into a battle that was not to his best advantage. He may be getting into a boxing contest here that's not to his best advantage.
I agree with you 100%, Larry. Body shots are starting to hurt Ortiz a little bit now.
Watch that head, Victor. Right. Get that head up.
Bad thing about this here for Ortiz is, with that 9-pound advantage, he should be advancing to use that 9-pound advantage along with the gravitational pull, or with him going down and pushing the smaller fighter back. However, with him backing up, it gives Lamont an opportunity to do all the teeing off, because Lamont is the smaller fighter, so he got to fight like a cat.
Suddenly, Ortiz seems to recognize that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and instead of moving side to side, he suddenly steps forward and goes right at Peterson a couple of times and lands 2 good 3-punch combinations.
Yeah, but it could be too little too late.
You're not, Vic.
Meaning if Peterson wins the last 4 rounds on the scorecards, he's going to win the fight.
I don't know.
Peterson's doing a little bit too much running here. And that can't look good to the official scorers.
No, I think Ortiz mounted something of a comeback in the last minute of this round and has definitely gotten more assertive than was the case in the middle rounds.
Víctor, me tienes que escuchar, Víctor.
Victor, you've got to listen to me, Victor. You've got to listen to me, Victor. Listen to me and do what I say. Do what I say. Don't throw just one punch. Don't throw just one power punch. You're throwing just one power punch. Don't do that. That's not the way you're going to connect it. You're not going to catch him with that. He's lively. Fast. Be fast and throw the combinations. 2, 3 punches. You can do it.
Yeah, when you get to the body, you got to dog it. All right? All right? We ain't going to wait on no referees and no judges. Come on.
When's the next Harold round?
Girl, you got me? Come on, baby. Let's go.
I got you.
Come on.
When is the next Harold round? Round 8 of a scheduled 10. It's been a little bit of a seesaw fight. First round seemed to belong to Peterson. Ortiz knocked Peterson down twice in the 3rd round. And since then, they've traded things back and forth a little bit. The better boxer, Peterson, seems to have the advantage when they are boxing. The stronger puncher, Ortiz, seems to have the advantage when they stand and trade.
Don't stop jabbing!
Hard right hand by Peterson and a good left hand by Ortiz. Another excellent shot, body shot by Ortiz as Peterson fell back into the ropes. Good left hook by Peterson. You know, Roy, from the moment that you mentioned that Peterson seemed to be damaging Ortiz with body shots, it's been Ortiz who's thrown the body shots, almost as though he was responding directly to that.
And that's usually the case when a guy's hurt by a body shot. He usually thinks about it and says, oh my goodness, let me put this back on him because it's doing damage to me.
Good counter right hand by Peterson.
Trying to figure out when and how Ortiz decides to go back and when he decides to come forward.
Another good exchange which favors Ortiz. He landed more punches, although it began with a solid connect for Peterson.
Maybe Peterson doesn't hit as hard as Maidana. Maybe about it. But Ortiz has handled some pretty clean, hard shots right on his chin in this fight.
Including that left hand there.
This has turned into a very good fight.
Starting to now. It began to become a good fight at the moment when Ortiz's trainer, Danny Garcia, said, try to land combinations instead of throwing one power punch at a time. From that point forward, Victor has begun to try to land the combinations, and that's opened up some more opportunities for Peterson.
And that last hook that Peterson landed may have hurt Ortiz a little bit.
So why is he running away now? I don't get it.
2 stars in the 140-pound weight class. Big left hand by Peterson. Another big left hook by Peterson. Ortiz takes both of those punches very well.
And that may have turned that round to Peterson.
Those were 2 awfully hard shots, but Ortiz handles them and will make it into the 9th.
Got 2 damn rounds. Got 2 damn rounds. Come on, you gotta throw. You're just throwing one power punch only. Okay? Did he hurt you? A little bit. And how are you feeling now? Okay? Feeling good?
What round is it?
Let's go, baby.
Man, we can do this shit on our head. We need these rounds big. Lamont, look at me, son. I never lied to you, and I never will. You do exactly what I asked you to do. You got this shit. Leave the right hand. Right hand, all right? That's a ticket.
CompuBox numbers in the 8th round. Ortiz was 12 of 52. Peterson had his best round, 22 out of 42. Highest connect number for the fight. Harold, how do you have it through 8 coming to the 9th?
Okay, Jim. I've got it 5 rounds to 3, Victor Ortiz, but in points, 77-73. So I got Victor Ortiz with a big lead this darn fight. But I got to tell you, Jim, that 8th round, Lamont Peterson won easy, absolutely no question. What bothers me about this fight is Victor Ortiz lets Lamont Peterson walk him down. I'll never understand that. Lamont Peterson, you know, he's not supposed to be the power puncher, and yet half the darn fight, he's coming forward, and Victor Ortiz is backing up. Why should a guy that hits as hard as Ortiz get backed up? Be as it may, 5 rounds to 3, Victor Ortiz.
Well, Peterson has to know that he has to stand and deliver in these last 2 rounds to have a chance. He was told that by his trainer.
And he's responding. He's responding assertively, fighting with aggression at this point, but Ortiz is taking advantage and coming back at him. Roy Jones, Harold Letterman asked a very good question. Why has the harder puncher spent some of the fight backing up? Is that the still remaining hangover from the disaster of the Maidana fight?
That's exactly what that is. He's afraid to run in and get caught with something crazy because he knows that's what happened to him in the Maidana fight.
And once again, that theme plays in the main event as well, where Amir Khan, who has had chin problems, as Ortiz did, is facing Marcos Maidana, the guy who exposed Ortiz's chin problems, and maybe the biggest puncher in the division. That'll be in the main event coming up next. A couple of body shots by Ortiz, trying to invest something that will slow Peterson down in the last 2 rounds.
His job right now is to get Peterson into a war. That is not the kind of fight Peterson has normally fought. He has good boxing skills, and that's how he achieved his position in this division.
And when Ortiz goes forward, he shortens up the range for Lamont Peterson to throw that long left hook and long right hand. But when he backs up, he gives Peterson the space to throw the punches effectively.
You're exactly right, Jim.
Peterson is difficult to fight. I mean, he gave Bradley some serious problems as well, so to give him his due.
But he also went down against Bradley, which helped to cost him the fight. The same thing which has happened here. Once again, Peterson was down twice in the 2nd round, or the 3rd round, I should say. And only the scorecards can tell us whether that's going to turn out to be the functional difference in the fight.
Come on. Keep working. Give me that bucket. Give me that bucket. Give me that bucket.
Right here, we got it. Come on, baby.
Lamont, come on, goddammit. Wipe this shit off. Hey, look at me. This is the last round.
Last one here.
Carl, I need a big one, baby. Huh?
Final round. Touch him up middle of the ring. Cuando estás tirando, escúchame bien.
Listen to me. Listen to me well. Listen to me. When you're throwing this left, you're throwing it slow. He catches you with that right hand. He got you. Don't throw just one punch. Come on, 1, 2. Get in with the 1, 2.
All right, but be smart. Like Ann say, use your brain. Let the jab set the right hand up. Come on, man. Come on, go. Move, y'all. Move. Let's go.
Hey.
Round 10 of a scheduled 10. Ortiz versus Peterson. Lamont Peterson probably believes he is trying to complete a huge comeback on the scorecards after falling way behind early in the fight. Ortiz probably believes that he is protecting a lead on the scorecards and needs to stand up to the finish.
Well, Ortiz is the one who should have to be careful here then if he thinks he's ahead.
I don't think he can think anything. I just think he's got to go out and win the round.
Go. Put the pushing. Lamont, back up. There you go.
That's what he's got to think. Win the round, and that's the only way you can control what's going on in here.
Break. No wrestle. Let's go.
Tell you what, he's on the attack good.
No problem. Box.
Peterson went to the floor while Ortiz was leaning on him. Is that a sign of fatigue, Roy?
It's a sign of fatigue. Also, it's a sign of dealing with a bigger body. Sometimes you just go to the floor and you don't have to worry about pushing and fighting with that bigger body.
No embarrassment in it.
No, none at all. Wasn't caused by a punch.
Ortiz landed a good uppercut and a pretty good over-the-top left there. Ortiz has fought very aggressively in the round. And he's blunted the chance for Peterson to be aggressive by doing so. Peterson cannot afford these long lulls without punching, and he particularly can't afford that Ortiz be the one to break the lull and punch first.
Yeah, he's allowing Ortiz to be the better boxer now. Ortiz is getting in and getting out, which is what a boxer is supposed to do, but that's supposed to be what Peterson does.
Hard right hand by Peterson momentarily wobbles Ortiz. Two more shots off the skull of Ortiz, and another left hand as Dracula tries to break him up. Ortiz shows that his chin is indeed improved. He was not wobbling.
Peterson's hurt and is hanging on. He got caught with a good right hand in close.
Well, one thing Victor Ortiz will be able to say after this fight for sure is he hit me, he didn't hurt me the way Maidana did. Maybe he wasn't thinking at all, Larry, but it's been a smart 10th round for Victor Ortiz.
Smart because he's going out to impose himself on Peterson. And I think he did.
Peterson had the one great flurry and landed 3 huge shots, but Ortiz ultimately walked through them. And now both corners are going to celebrate. Give it a little victory body language.
I thought Ortiz won the fight, close in rounds, but that 10-7 round looks like it could be the difference.
Landing 18 out of 58 punches in the 10th round against 13 of 37 for Peterson was also very helpful.
Here you see Peterson land a big straight right hand right down the pipe of Ortiz. What a great shot. I thought that shot hurt. It did hurt Ortiz a little bit. You saw the legs buckle. Then he, same right hand again, straight down the pipe. Boom, right down the pipe, and that punch really did hurt Ortiz.
And that's the way he ate right hands against Maidana en route to his disaster. There's the ready smile of Victor Ortiz as he awaits the result here. Smiling perhaps about the 2 knockdowns in the 3rd round, which stood as his insurance through most of the fight. And here are the judges who will score it. Robert Hoyle is a judge of growing experience and high quality. We've spoken to him a lot. He's a good guy. Patricia Jarman, 74 title fights now. She's put together a very creditable career as a judge here in Las Vegas. And Dave Moretti, high-quality veteran, 115 title fights. Had Margarito Cotto even. What was your scorecard for this one, Harold?
Well, Jim, I thought that Victor Ortiz landing the hardest shots did win the fight. I've got it 7 rounds to 3, 97-91. That 3rd round is really looming large for Victor Ortiz. I just don't think there's any way he can lose this fight. I mean, unless he, doesn't get more than 2 rounds on the judges' scorecards, Victor Ortiz will win because of that 3rd round. I mean, if you play the numbers. So there's no doubt in my mind that Ortiz is going to get this decision.
And ring announcer Joe Martinez stands by with the official result.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards, and here are the judges' scoring totals. Judge Robert Hoyle has it 95-93 Peterson. Judge Patricia Morse-Jarman and Dave Moretti have it 94-94 for a majority draw.
Well, the crowd's surprised by the majority draw. Peterson still has a smile on his face. Or excuse me, Ortiz still has the smile on his face. Hard to say whether that's a step forward or a step back or just a step for Ortiz and Lamont Peterson, but at the end of the day, it winds up being called a majority draw as two judges had it 94-94. Total punches, Peterson lands 16 more, throws 124 less, significant percentage difference. You could see that. Lamont Peterson was the more competent boxer. He landed at a higher connect percentage. Our punches, on the other hand, Ortiz lands 11 more, throws nearly twice as many. The percentage isn't particularly great, and the percentage for Peterson is very good, but Ortiz basically won the power punch battle. So it is a kiss to the sister for both Ortiz and Peterson on a cold, clear night in Las Vegas.